Welcome to the Mobile Home Park Mastery Podcast, where you will learn how to identify, evaluate, negotiate, perform due diligence on, finance, turn around, and operate mobile home parks. And now, here is your host, the fifth largest mobile home park owner in the United States, Frank Rolfe.
Most mobile home parks are a mixture of lot sizes. Some streets will hold 76-foot long 3-bedroom, 2 baths. Other streets may hold 56-foot lots, which will hold a 2-bedroom, 2 bath. But then sometimes the lots are very, very small. And what do you do in those cases? This is Frank Rolfe, the Mobile Home Park Mastery Podcast. We're going to talk about the Tiny Lot Playbook. What to do with these little fractionally sized lots that many mobile home parks have, and what are the best options for those strictly from an economic perspective. Now, let me first remind everyone that clearly the greatest value for the customer out there is, in fact, the 3-bedroom, 2-bath mobile home. That's the gold standard of the industry. And we wish that every lot could hold that. That would be the dream environment for any park owner, is you don't even have to ask. When you're trying to fill vacant lots, you're just going to buy nothing but 3-bedroom, 2 baths, and they're going to fly right off the rack because everyone loves owning the 3-bedroom, 2 bath. But when you have these lots that can't accommodate that gold standard feature, then you have to be a little creative because there are quite a few options and you've got to make the right selection. Now, if I have a really small lot, and let's define a small lot, let's assume you have a lot that will only fit at the most a 14 by 36 foot mobile home. So the very first option you have on a lot that small is to put a 1-bedroom, 1-bath mobile home on it. And let me tell you right now, those are really hard to sell. I've been trying to sell those things for 30 years on and off. Every time we've bought a mobile home park that has small lots or comes with a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, I'm stuck right back in that rut. And it's very disheartening. Because everyone who comes to the mobile home park has the expectations of at least a 2-bedroom. They're hoping for the 3-bedroom, but nobody wants the 1-bedroom, 1-bath. Even people where the 1-bedroom is the perfect option for them. And so you have an older single person. That 1-1 is a great value for them. But they'll always say, no, I need the 2nd bedroom. I need a place to use as an office or as some kind of bonus room to work on my hobbies or crafts, or a guest bedroom. And you can't really blame them because a 1-bedroom, 1-bath is kind of depressing. It's like living in a hotel room. So putting a small 1-bedroom, 1-bath on a mobile home lot, that doesn't seem that appealing to me. And then you have the option of putting in a park model. Again, it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, but they sometimes have a loft that comes with them. They're also known as tiny homes in some markets. But once again, the problem is it's not something most people are just dreaming of living in. And they're very hard to sell. And what makes park models even more difficult to sell is they're very expensive. So, although in some markets a park model might be the best option, particularly if you have a property which is kind of a RV park mobile home hybrid. But once again, that probably is not going to be the best thing you can do. And then you can put in a small double wide that's very popular down in Florida. They've done a masterful job in Florida of devising little double wides to fit little mobile home park spaces and do a pretty good job. So now in your little 1-bedroom, 1-bath single wide lot, if you can fit the double wide, if you have the width, which many parks do, you could now bring in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath double wide. How do they do it? How do they get the extra bedroom and sometimes even a 2nd bathroom in there? It's because there's no wasted space to hallways. It's a radial design. Everything flows off the living room. They're classy. They're neat. People love those little double wides. But the problem is they're really, really expensive. And that's why you find them traditionally a lot in Florida, where people have bigger budgets, I guess, to buy mobile homes. But in most markets, that 2-bedroom, 1-bath or 2-bedroom, 2-bath double wide, that's going to be like an $80,000 unit. And that may just be impossible for you to sell. When you combine the cost of that for its size plus lot rent, it may be economically just not attractive to buyers. So again, that could be really hard. Now, this next one is something that a lot of park owners do, and that's, hey, let's take that small lot and combine it with the small lot behind it, and now we have one big lot. So now we're converting that little lot with the addition of a second little lot into something that will hold the 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Now we can get our gold standard 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 76-footer on there, right? And for a lot of parks, that is the smart decision, but it depends on how you've on the front end budgeted for the park, because you'll lose at least one lot every time you combine them. Can your budget handle that? Is that what you based your purchase price on? Or is that going to make your overall performance on this park unsuccessful? So be very careful on that. Also make sure if you want to combine the lots that you legally can combine them. Are there actual easements running between the lots that you can't have a home that hangs over? You have to check all of those things out. Another option when you have that little lot is just to rent it to the neighbor. That doesn't require buying a home, bringing in a home, utilities, anything. Just say, hey, you want a bigger yard? Here's the deal. I have this little vacant lot. I'll go ahead and rent it to you. You might be able to get $50 a month. In some markets, maybe even $100 a month. It's no longer a vacant lot now. It is occupied. But let's say your lot rent's $500 a month. Is that really going to work for you? What was your budget on that? Did you budget $500? I don't think $100 is going to maybe make that work. Another option is to convert that lot into an amenity. Now you might say, now what amenity would fit on that little 36-foot long lot? Well, I mean, there's actually many. Number one, you could use it for overflow parking. In a lot of mobile home parks, parking is a very serious problem because the parks were built back in the 50s, the 60s, even the 70s, when most households had at the most 2 cars, and many only had 1 car. And as a result now, when you have households that often have 3 cars, 4 cars, 5 cars, they've got nowhere to park them. You can't have them park it in the yard. Looks terrible. Creates big old muddy ruts. You can't always have them park on the streets because sometimes the streets aren't wide enough to accommodate that. So you can take that 36-foot lot and you can pave over that thing, and that will give you 4 additional cars of parking. So that's a pretty important amenity. That may be enough to get several people in the parks parking problem solved. You could even charge them for the use of that overflow parking if you wanted to try and monetize it. So that's an option, but what are you going to get for that? If I create 4 parking spaces, well, I could maybe charge them each $25 a car, but that's still not going to hit my budget. And then I have the additional cost of going in and paving it and all of that type of thing. But there's one other option floating around out there on the amenity side, and that's simply converting that little lot into something that everyone can use. Putting in picnic tables and a charcoal grill, just like a roadside stop on the highway system. And suddenly you have something that's of value to everyone in the park. You're not just serving the interest of a few people or one person by renting it to someone for a yard. Now the whole community can use the space. And you will be shocked how much you can pack into that little lot. On a little postage-sized lot, 36 foot long and probably 30 feet wide. That is going to allow you to have at least 2 or 3 picnic tables, probably at least 2 charcoal grills, and you may even end up with room for a small playground. And now let's look at the economic impact of doing that. Let's assume that your mobile home park is approaching or has approached full market lot rent. Let's assume you have 50 spaces in there. Let's assume you don't really have any great common areas to speak of. Maybe you don't have any whatsoever. If you were to build this new little area that everyone can enjoy, and that allows you to raise your rent $20 a month and say to people, look, we have this new value, this new amenity, makes them happy, feeling like it's good value to them. On a 50-space park, that's $1,000 a month. So instead of just getting 1 lot rent, you're effectively getting 2 lot rents just by utilizing that as an amenity. So often, for those little lots, the best thing you can do is not try and put a home on it, but simply make that something the entire community can use. And one more takeaway from all of this is there's no reason ever to not find a use for a small vacant lot. There's always something you can do productive for it, always some way you can typically monetize it. But look at your park. Remember that every park is its own custom creation. Look at the demand, look at the demographics, and then you decide from that list which of those works the best for you. This is Frank Roth, the Mobile Home Park Mastery Podcast. Hope you enjoyed this. Talk to you again soon.
Thank you for listening to the Mobile Home Park Mastery Podcast. Be sure to visit us at mhpmastery.com to subscribe to the show, read our show transcriptions, and access all of our great information on mobile home park investing.